Hi everyone. So we will discuss about how to create functional test cases template. So functional test cases template, no, suppose. So functional test cases template when it comes to the picture, right? Suppose it's a new project, right? We have started a new project, and you are taking the initiative of the project as a QA. I mean, so there are no test leads. So you are working as a individual resources. If in a project, if test lead is there, no, he will take care everything. If the project in a project, no, if test lead is not there, no, then as a resource, no, you should take care of the complete responsibility of the project. So in such scenarios, no, you need to create the functional test cases template, regression test cases template, and what and all is required, you need to take care, right? So as a resource, as a unique resource, as an individual resource, your contribution, what is your contribution? For now, it is a functional test cases template. Mm. So what is meant by functional test cases template, right? Say functional testing. So which will meet the requirements. So has provided by the business analyst. Normally, see in any organization, no. So whenever the in other Scrum methodology, whenever the project initiated, right? So there will be due team, there will be QA team. So when in the 4 week, just imagine it's a 4 week sprint. So developers are working on the like as per the user stories, no. So within that time, parallelly you need to create the manual test cases. So when the build is deployed to the QA environment, no, so whatever you analyzed and written the manual test cases, no, you need to execute those test cases. Here, whatever the first time, no, for new features, we can say it is a functional test cases. Whenever the new features you are working on the new features or new user stories, no, you need to create a functional test cases for that. So as a QA resource, no, you should take initiative to write the functional test cases for any new feature or enhanced feature. It is coming for the first time. They're injecting to the application. So functional test cases template. So normally, how to design functional test cases template, I will tell you. So you need to create the functional test cases template first. So later we need to create the regression template for regression testing, right? I will explain both. So normally, see, coming to test management tools, no, QCALM, Test Collab, Test Link, no. So the four things, whatever I mentioned here, QCALM, Test Collab, Excel, Test Link, all the four options is available to write the test cases. So like why I'm explaining, I have worked on these things. I am explaining you. So coming to QCALM, Test Collab, so these two are the, I guess these two are the paid versions. So and TestLink is a open source, I guess. Open source is paid version, not sure. But Excel, no, anyone can use. Anyone can use. It's a open source, right? Excel. Normally, we will maintain everything in Excel also, no issues. See, test management tools, no, some of the projects are very big projects or some big companies, no? So they will be using the paid tool versions like ALM, Collab, TestLink, and all. So some there will be some startups or that depends upon the complete project or complete team or complete organization. No, so organization to organization it will vary. Yeah, some will go with the QCALM to write the test cases, some will go with the test collab, some will go with the test link, some will maintain everything in the Excel. Even ours is a big project, no? Still we have maintained the like so I have completed like like 3 to 4 projects, no? One project we have maintained in the ALM, one project we have maintained in the test collab, one project we have maintained in the test link. We have migrated from collab to test link, and one project we have made purely we have maintained all the test cases in the Excel, like functional test cases, regression test cases. So we have maintained in the Excel. So that depends upon organization to organization, project to project, or team to team. Yeah. So in what cases we are going to functional testing, I explained you, right? So when you are working on a new user stories, right, you mandatory should write the functional test cases. So now we will see how to design functional testing template in Excel. It's a open source, right? I will go with the Excel only. Okay. So this is my sheet one. So I will write for the registration feature. Registration. feature. I'm writing for this, the functional test case. Just imagine this is my user story, registration feature in my user story. Just we'll try to create functional test cases for that. Okay. So first one is test case title. So for this title, what we have to give the description for this title, right? Description. So for any test case, there will be precondition. So this is a template, precondition. Hmm. So we will, for serial numbers, we will wait here. So the template can be any way we can design. So not like the template should appear in the same like default what I am creating. It's not the depend. This is also depends on organization to organization as well as project to project. So, but I'm giving a complete brief about the what will be there in the functional test case template. So initial status, no, who are in like initial stages, no, people who are in the initial stages and confused to prepare the templates and all, no, so it will be helpful for them. Okay. So when the test steps are created, so there will be result, expected results, actual results. Okay. So when you are writing the executing the test cases, it will be what should be the test status. After executing the status, if you find any defect, what is the defect ID? Defect. So who tested by? So it is very important, right? The organization who is working on this test cases, defect ID, and also date on which day we have executed. On which date we have executed. Okay. Mm. See what is test case title, test case description, the precondition, test steps, expected results, actual results, status, and defect ID, tested by, not tested, tested by, who tested by, and date. Okay. So this is the actual template. So which we can use for the for writing the manual test cases. Okay. And we will write one test case for the more options I will take. Browse, desktop functional test cases template. So we will create one test case for the registration feature. So normally in any application, no, if you want to do registration form, or when you are joining a company, or when you are filling or signing up like IRCTC form or any suppose Amazon, we need to sign up, right? Some process, some registration process will be there. If you are applying any job, no, there is some complete registration process. Once if you do registration, no, then one ID will be created on your name, and either it will be username or user ID, and there will be like email ID. You can log in with the user ID or username or with email ID or phone numbers. So these are the four things now of any application we can go with that. So, but registration is mandatory to use regular to use frequently that application, right? Suppose. So we'll write one test case. Okay. We'll see what is happening. Verify whether user is able to complete the a registration process. So test case title, we need to check whether user is able to complete the registration process. What should be the description? So to complete the user is able to complete the registration, to check whether user is able to complete the registration process, user has to provide valid details for registration, right? Yes. User has to provide valid details for registration. So when it is valid details, no, then he is able to complete the registration process. Hmm? So for this precondition, no, so we are in the registration process, no. So already application should be launched with URL. So with the help of URL, we should be able to launch the application. Already application should be launched. So this is the precondition what we are having. Okay. Now steps. So one first step. Test steps what I'm doing. So when the application is launched, no already application should be launched with URL. There will be sign up process and sign in process. Sign in what it will do if you have already email ID or user ID password means then you can able to log in. But you have not done registration right to get the already user ID or username or password. Registration and sign up is same. So then you need to sign up or to get the sign up no or registration. There will be some buttons. Click on the sign up form or click on the registration form. Hmm. So what I will do, I will click on the registration form button. What I am doing, I am clicking on the registration form button. Okay. So for this step, no, what should be the click on the registration form button? Hmm. What should be the expected result for this? So whatever the expected result, no. So we are giving based on the requirement. We are analyzing the requirement, and when we are writing the test cases, what should be when the user click on the registration form button? Expected result we are giving. So user should be able to navigate to a registration form page, right? Registration form page. So user is navigate able to navigate to registration form page. What is the second step? Fill all the mandatory fields for registration. So I'm giving a simple example. Okay, I'm not like we need to fill each and every field, right? But I'm giving a basic example. Okay, I'm giving a small example. User should be able to fill all mandatory fields for registration. Registration. Mm. User user field user is able to fill all mandatory fields for registration. Mhm. Once the user able to fill all the mandatory fields, now next what we do? So click on the submit button. So after clicking on the submit button, no, what user able to see? User should be able to see alert pop up. Hmm? The registration to the application is successful. Okay. So I'll copy paste same thing, but change it. The user is able to see the alert, pop up. The registration is successfully done. So now this is my test case. See now that this is the test case title. What I am giving, verify whether user is able to complete the registration form. So this for this test case title, what is the description? Description should be very clear. User has to provide valid details for registration. So precondition application should be launched with URL. So these are the test case steps. What are the expected result? No? We are giving it should match the actual results. Expected result we are giving, we are analyzing the requirement, we are providing the expected results. But actual results are coming from the application. When both matches, no, expected results, actual results, then the test case will get passed. Suppose this is pass. I am doing the all the steps are now it is pass, right? See now the test case are passed. Now what I will do, I will make so we need you need to write the execution of the test case. So whenever see once the dev team development team deploys the new feature build, no QA build. Means this new features will be in the QA build. So then you will execute these test cases. When all the test cases are passed, no, just you will update it as pass, pass, pass. Who executed by Vihan, Vihan. Who is executed the test case? Vihan. Hmm? What is the date? 29 July, right? 07 2022. It is same for so today. Right? You understood, right? Mm. See, so when we will design the functional test cases means, so functional test cases, whenever a new feature is adding to the application or new enhancement is going to the application, no, then we will create the functional test cases. So functional test cases, no, I told you, right? Functional test case template is creating. So when you are working in a team as a unique resource, or you are the only one in the team, you need to take responsibility of the complete project, no? Then you should put some effort. So by creating the templates, by creating the results, and you need to update everything to, you need to take your own. So if there is some team is big, no, then each person has an individual work that will be assigned by team. This complete templates and all will be taken care by the lead. So if not, the lead is not that you are the only independent resource working for the project, then you should manage all these things. See, you understood, right? So suppose if, when you are doing registration form, no, you clicked on the registration button, you entered into the registration form page, you filled all the details, clicking on submit button, but the action is not working. Then this is fail, right? You need to update it as fail, fail, fail. And this fail, no, will fail. So and in the Jira, no, you will. So Jira is a test, also a test management tool. So we need to create defect for this defect 1001. So this is the defect ID. So you will share with the team. So the test cases are proof that these are the functionalities are working. And when you execute the test cases only, you will come to know. So what and all the steps are working. Suppose what will happen, no, if there are no test cases, what will happen if there are no test cases? So now you're working from past 6 months. Like a lot of new features are coming. So when you keep on testing new features, no, what are the existing functionalities you will forget. If there is a test case is proof, no. So you will say that I have executed this test case is passed. You say that, yeah, it is passed. You can show this results. What the management or organization will believe that you are working. If you don't have test cases, you are telling I have done the executed test cases. Where is the result? If any issue occurs, where is the result? They will question. So test cases is very important while writing the test cases, and also the test cases for writing the test cases, no, there should be a proper template with each and everything should be explained, and it is very neat and clean. Whenever the management or whenever your team sees the template and the results, no, they should be easily able to understand. Even the new resources who are coming into the project, no, for giving KT and all, no, when you are going to give KT, instead of spending more time on them, you can give this document. You can ask them to go through the steps they can execute, and they will understand easily the application. So the dependency will be reduced when you have everything covered on the team. I hope this is a very helpful session. Thank you.